Now, similar to specific speed, there are some other quantities which are known as unit quantities, okay, which are used for predicting the behavior of a turbine working under varying conditions of head speed and gate openings. Okay. Now the main difference between specific speed and unit quantities is that specific speed is applied for different types of turbine, Pelton turbine, Francis turbine, okay, Kaplan turbine. But unit quantities are the quantities which are applied for a particular single turbine only. Okay, suppose we are taking reading on a Pelton turbine, okay, on a unit of Pelton turbine, then this unit quantities will be applicable for that Pelton turbine only, or for that particular turbine only, whatever are the specifications of that turbine. So that is the main difference. Okay, if you want to compare the results of the same turbine under varying conditions, okay, then you are reducing that quantities to a unit quantity or on one platform and comparing the results. Okay, then you are telling the behavior of that turbine under in terms of unit quantities. Which are the different unit quantities? That is unit speed, unit discharge and unit power. So unit speed, unit discharge and unit power, the name itself suggests meaning. Unit means one. So all these quantities calculated considering the head on the turbine is reduced to unity or 1 meter. Then suppose that turbine is no doubt the head will not be 1 meter, but similar to specific speed where you have brought the power as 1 kilowatt and head as 1 meter, okay, for a common platform, and then we have predicted the specific speed for different types of machine. Now the same machine, if you are taking the readings for that same machine under different heads and different power speed, then bringing all that readings to a one platform, that is for unit head, then you can predict the performance of this unit speed, unit discharge and unit power, okay, when you are drawing the graph. Okay, now let us see how you are calculating these quantities, unit speed, unit discharge and unit power. Remember, this should work under unit head. So the condition is head is unity. So unit speed, it is defined as the speed of the turbine working under a unit head, that is the head of 1 meter. So it is denoted by NU, capital NU. N is the actual speed of the turbine under a head, capital H, right? H is the head under which turbine is working. No doubt H will never be 1 meter. It is our assumption that we are reducing it to 1 meter. Let us take U is a tangential velocity. Tangential velocity U, it is directly proportional to root H, as we have seen for specific speed. Also U is equal to pi dn by 60. Now here d is the diameter. Now for the turbine, d is going to be constant. D is going to be constant, not varying. Okay, it is the same turbine we are going to use for taking different readings. So d is constant. So you can take U is directly proportional to n. Okay, not d. Okay, so n is directly proportional to again root h that we have seen, because U is directly proportional to root h. So n is directly proportional to root h. So n you can write as a k into root h. Okay, k into h, root h, that is constant into root h. So if you take h as equal to 1 meter, then n will become nu, that is unit speed. Okay, like your specific speed, n will become ns when p is equal to 1 kilowatt and h is equal to 1 meter. Now here power is not there, only head is there. You have to take as unity 1 meter. So n will become nu. So you put nu is equal to k1 into 1. So you will get k1 as nu, okay, or k as nu. And so if you put value of k1 in this formula, n is equal to k1 under root h. You put k1 as nu, you can get n is equal to nu root h. So nu is equal to n upon root h. So nu, that is unit speed, is formula is n upon root h. Similarly, if you see unit discharge, it is defined as the discharge passing through a turbine which is working under unit head. So all these quantities are working under unit head. Similar to the unit speed, okay, you can calculate for discharge, because you know discharge is equal to area into velocity. So area is area is again diameter, okay, it includes the diameter, so it is constant, so don't consider area. So q is directly proportional to velocity, velocity is directly proportional to root h, so q is directly proportional to root h, so q is equal to constant into root h. So again putting h is equal to 1 meter, you put q is equal to qu, unit discharge. So QU will be equal to K2 under root of 1 meter. So K2 will be equal to QU. So putting the value of K2 in the original formula, Q is equal to K2 under root H. So you will get Q is equal to QU into root H. So you will get QU is equal to Q upon root H. Similarly, unit power, it is defined as the power developed by the turbine working under unit head under 1 meter head. So it is denoted by PU. Now here PU, you know, power is directly proportional to QH, okay, and Q is directly proportional to root H, okay, but here P is directly proportional to root H into H. So P is directly proportional to H raised to 3 by 2. That's why P is equal to K3 into H raised to 3 by 2. Okay, in the previous case it was only root H for Q and unit speed N. So here now for power it is not root H, it is H raised to 3 by 2. Okay, because power is equal to power directly proportional to Q into H. So you can write H is equal to 1 meter or P is equal to PU. Condition is that. So PU is equal to K3 into 1. So K3. So put value of K3 as PU again in this formula. P is equal to K3 into H raised to 3 by 2. We'll get P is equal to PU into H raised to 3 by 2. So PU will be equal to P upon H raised to 3 by 2. So unit quantities, three quantities you have to remember. NU is equal to N upon root H. QU is equal to Q upon root H, and PU is equal to P upon H raised to 3 by 2. So immediately let us see numerical based on this. Okay, a turbine develops 9000 kilowatt when running at 100 rpm. This is not 10 rpm, it is 100 rpm. The head on the turbine is 30 meter. If the head on the turbine is reduced to 18 meter, determine the speed and power developed by the turbine. See, the quantities like unit quantity, specific speed, these are very important for predicting the behavior of turbine, okay, without actually calculating the values or without actually taking the readings. Okay, even if you take the readings at one point, then if you have changed only one parameter, other parameters you can easily find from this dimensional analysis, which is nothing but unit quantity. So power P1 is equal to 9000 kilowatt, N1 is equal to 100 rpm, H1 is equal to 30 meter. You have been given H2 as 80 meter and you have been told to ask to calculate speed N2 and P2. So you know from the unit quantities, okay, that unit NU will be same, okay, because it is coming at 1 meter of head. So it is common platform. NU will remain same for that particular turbine. So it will be N1 upon root H1 is equal to N2 upon root H2. Okay, so N2 will be equal to N1 root H2 upon root H1. So it will be 100 into under root of 18 upon root of 30. So it will be 100 into 4.2426 upon 5.4772. Okay, so it will be coming as 77.46 rpm. So this is the N2, that is for this speed you will get this for this head, that is 18 meter head, you will get the rpm as 77.46. so this is the reading that you should get at this rpm from this unit speed. Similarly, unit power you can calculate as P1 by H1 raised to 3 by 2 is equal to P2 by H2 raised to 3 by 2. That will remain same. So you can calculate P2 is equal to P1 into H2 raised to 3 by 2 upon H1 raised to 3 by 2. So if you calculate 9000 into 18 raised to 3 by 2 upon 30 raised to 3 by 2, you will get power as 4182.84 kilowatts. So same turbine you will give you the reading, okay, or the prediction of the power under the head of 18 meter. So if you run the same turbine under 18 meter head, you will get the reduced power, obviously. So that is the prediction of the turbine. So that is the usefulness of the unit quantities. Now these unit quantities are very important for drawing the graph also. When we will perform the experiment in turbo machines lab, then we have to draw the graph of this output versus some that performance characteristic curves we have to draw. Okay, which are these characteristic curves? Okay, you know we are calculating power, discharge. Okay, so this head, all this versus the speed of the turbine, then you have to draw the graph. Okay, so characteristic curves of a hydraulic turbine are the curves with the help of which the exact behavior and performance of the turbine under different working conditions can be known. These curves are plotted from the results of the test performed on the turbine under different working conditions. The important parameters which are varied during a test, speed, head, discharge, power, overall efficiency, gate opening. Out of the above 6 parameters, 3 parameters, namely speed, head, discharge, are independent parameters. Okay, these are not changing. Independent means they are not depending on the, while power, power, efficiency, these are dependent parameters. Okay. Out of these 3 independent parameters, NHQ, one of the parameters is kept constant. Okay, suppose head is kept constant, and the variation of other 4 parameters with the respect to any of the remaining 2 independent parameters, say N or Q, okay, are plotted. So you can plot the power versus speed, okay, or efficiency versus speed, and various curves are obtained. These curves are called as characteristic curves. Okay, now depending upon which quantity you are keeping constant, they are called as the main characteristic curves or constant head characteristic curves, and operating characteristic curves or constant speed characteristics curves. So the quantity which you are keeping constant, that is deciding which type of characteristic curves are there. If the head you are maintaining constant for the particular set of readings, then you are calling it as a main characteristic curve. If you are maintaining the speed as a constant, which is generally the operating condition of the turbine, all the real time turbines are in the operating characteristic curves. So they are called as a operating characteristic curve because the speed is maintained constant. So let us see main characteristic curves or constant characteristic curves, constant head characteristic curves, how they are plotted. In this case, I have told you that we are making use of the unit speed, okay, and unit discharge. So you can calculate unit speed as N by root H for that particular turbine, okay. Upon N QU you can calculate by Q by root H. Okay, this is a gate opening, 25% gate opening, 50% gate opening. Okay, means discharge, how much discharge you are keeping. Okay, so that we will see when you will perform the experiments. So similarly, power versus speed and efficiency versus speed. These are the nature of the graphs that you should get while performing the experiment. This is the main characteristic curve for Pelton turbine. These curves you should obtain from the Pelton turbine and check from these curves. Next, you can get the main characteristic curve for reaction turbine. For reaction turbine, again you have to calculate or you have to plot QU versus NU or QU versus NU for Francis as well as Kaplan turbine. Okay, and efficiency versus NU. Okay, so that is again for reaction turbine. And these natures also you have to verify from the experiments. Okay. So these are the main characteristic curve where you are maintaining head as a constant, But in case of operating characteristic curves, you have to maintain speed as a constant, and you are not going to use the unit quantity there. You are going to use the plain values, whatever you are getting. So constant speed curve, okay, here N is equal to constant, but at the same time head is also maintained constant, okay, because in actual running condition the head of a ram is constant. That's why operating characteristic curves are very important. Okay, these are the main characteristic curves which are obtained under actual operating conditions. So efficiency or power versus discharge, here no speed because speed is constant. So you can't take speed on x-axis. So this is the operating characteristic curve. And last curve, which are called as a constant efficiency curves. Okay, they are not that much important, which are called as a Marshall curves. Only main characteristic curves and operating characteristic curves are important for the turbines. Okay, so that we'll see in the experiment also. So that care you have to take. You have to only remember main characteristic curves are constant head characteristic curve and operating characteristic curves are the constant speed characteristic curves. Okay, and accordingly you have to remember these diagrams. Okay, if it is asked in the exam. Then the last point is remaining, that is called the governing of hydraulic turbines. I will briefly explain what do you mean by governing of hydraulic turbines. You read the theory for this. Well, basically you should understand the concept of hydraulic turbines. See what happens, the generator is running at constant speed. Generator speed is constant, 3000 rpm generally, okay, for the given frequency. So our condition is that the turbine should also run at constant speed, but though the generator is running at constant speed, you depending upon the demand and supply, the speed of the generator is changing. That's why you have to change the speed of the turbine also. So the changing of the speed of the turbine or maintaining the speed of the turbine constant is known as governing of turbines. So I hope You will study this. In this way we have completed unit number 3. Thank you.